So we had a rather interesting set of rumours today regarding AMD Zen, and before I get kicked off into the actual information, I want to get thanking the person who sent us this link via an email, and that thanks belongs to Meme Rooney, who sent us a link to a forum thread on carbonite.co.za, which has a post with just a bunch of information about AMD Zen. Now, of course, this is a forum post, so the rumour flag is flying high and proud today, but let's go into what this user had to say. Now, this is the current state of the retail CPUs according to the user ShockG. According to them, there are some issues present in the current testing samples, similar in a way to the TLB bug of the Phenom. There is a workaround being done right now via the BIOS, however this workaround does come with a price, as it does strip about 30 to 40% of the CPU performance. And the CPUs are apparently well behind schedule, however every day there is progress being made and bug fixing being done. Unlike with Intel's E0 CPUs, which make it out into the world, that are almost completely final silicon, AMD samples are actually going to continue to get bug fixes right up until retail spec sampling is sent to partners. Now, you may recall that in August, clock speeds were roughly 3.8 GHz. Right now, 4.2 GHz overclocking is possible. With LN2, 5 GHz is doable. Again, this will change, but that's just how the current silicon is behaving. Now, AM4/Zen does use an SoC design, and that does mean even CMOS and BIOS configuration is on package, but not necessarily on the silicon. They did not confirm this. So it is possible to clear the BIOS and still have an old value applied 30 minutes later. How this will be addressed does remain to be seen. It is entirely possible, as the user themselves addresses, this might not be the same scenario for the final silicon. Now, operating voltages are 1.3 volts all the way up to 1.5, should be fine it seems for AIO cooling. Frequency scaling isn't a strong point again, but again that might have everything to do with the process at this point rather than a design inherent limitation. Now, performance is particularly strong at this point according to this users versus Intel's offerings currently on the table. Single thread performance is matching Haswell E, and of course multi-threading as well. Tests are that memory bandwidth dependent may go to the Intel platform simply as a result of having more memory channels available, but they can't confirm that and they don't have any inside info on that at the moment. The important thing here is that the 16-thread 8-core CPU minimum is 5960 times performance, if not better actually, and this is based on Cinebench R15 with the error fix disabled. Now, they can't speak on how well the IMC is working, as current samples are locked to low DRAM frequencies, which of course is in itself having an impact on performance. Now, due to the rapidly changing rate of the current silicon for AMD Zen, we are likely to see any high-end boards for the CPUs prior to launch or at launch, simply because no vendors can actually commit right now, as of course plenty is changing at a rapid pace. They're of course going to wait until the final design is actually solidified before beginning work on a high-end board. Now, a user did ask him or her, obviously no idea who this person is, if there's any information on pricing, but from the board vendor side the answer is highest SKU is less than $700. No idea on the actual official pricing on the Zen set from AMD yet, and March is still the target time for the CPUs, but they don't suspect that first generation CPUs will be all that great. Now, all that said, I just want to remind you that when the engineering sample ran against in Blender against Intel, it was at 3.0 GHz, but that was an engineering sample, and that was of course a while ago. But as I said at the start of this video, this is a rumor. This is all based from a user on a forum, so do take everything discussed here with a hefty, and I do mean a hefty, fistful of salt. However, if they're correct with their sort of specs or results at the moment, it does point to a very interesting future for Zen. Of course, this is still being worked on, things could go up or down or stay the same, we just don't know, but if they are around this, Zen is definitely going to be a contender, I feel like. Of course, Intel are going to have their own answer not long after Zen, but it's still going to be interesting nonetheless. Perhaps AMD can finally make a dent in Intel's dominance. We shall have to see. Again, thank you to Meme Rooney for sending us this link. If any of you guys have any other tips that you want to send us, the email is contact@redgamingtech.com. So, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.